improving relationships using the explore power. First, we need a bit of background. So Shirzad Chamine, my coach and founder of Positive Intelligence, highlights the dual nature of the mind. He emphasizes that it can be our best friend. It can also be our worst enemy. And it depends upon our control over it. He introduces the concept of the sage perspective. It's that state of mind that is driven by positive emotions and constructive actions. It enables us to tackle life's challenges more and more effectively. That sage mode is characterized by 5 powers. They include the explore power, empathize power, navigate, innovate, and activate powers, which together empower individuals to transform those negative circumstances into opportunities for growth and opportunities for success. I am, by design, by the way, deliberately repeating myself. So if you heard this, it's intentional. By mastering these sage powers, one can shift their mind from self-sabotage to self-empowerment, unlocking their full potential. Today, I want to focus on improving relationships using the explore power. So Shirzad notes, explore is about being deeply curious, about discovering something new when it comes to relationship conflicts. Typically, he says, when in conflict with another person, it's because you are taking a position that is different from the other person's position. And each of you feels really strongly about your position and wants to stick to it. So resolving the conflict at the level of positions, therefore, requires that one of you has to give up the position which doesn't feel good. He offers the following tip, quote, so what you want to do is this. You want to explore one level deeper than the position level. Get curious about what is the aspiration underneath the other person's position. What do they really want? It's worth noting that an aspiration is something that is positive. It's something that you would wish for another person to have. So perhaps this person's aspiration is to create more safety, perhaps more security for themselves or maybe for their loved ones. Perhaps it's to gain more independence or acceptance, to be less afraid, to be more liked. Shirzad encourages us to really get curious about the deeper aspiration that's underneath the other person's position and then do the same with yourself. So what's the aspiration underneath your position? Then get curious about what new position could have both of you satisfied, both satisfying that deeper aspiration. Shirzad provides this really overly simplified example to illustrate the point, but I like it. So he says, let's say you're deciding to go for lunch and you want to go somewhere, but you don't know where yet. So you say, I want to go to a seafood restaurant. And I suggest that you want to go to, that we should go to an Italian restaurant instead. So these positions are, of course, very different. And if we try to resolve it at the position level, one of us is going to have to ultimately lose. Instead, what if we explore the underlying reasons behind or underneath those positions? And it turns out that you want to go to that local seafood restaurant because your doctor in your most recent visit said cut out red meat, for example. No more consumption of red meat, eat more fish. And the reason that I want to go to the Italian restaurant is because I like the ambiance. I like to be outdoors. I like to sit outside on a nice day. And for food, I'm just going to have a simple salad. So I could really find anywhere. Once we've discovered the deeper aspiration, as silly as it sounds, we can choose a restaurant instead that has good seafood and salad right outside with outdoor seating, right? So by exploring those deeper underlying reasons behind our positions, we come up with a new position. And again, that position is satisfying both of our deeper aspirations. So today's tool, it's called Explore the Aspiration. Today, when you feel conflict in relationship, use the explore power. Just be curious about the deeper aspiration underneath the other person's position and underneath your own position, and see if you can come up with a new position that would satisfy both of your aspirations. No one has to lose. So step 1, bring to mind a relationship conflict that you want to work on right now. You and the other person, you take different positions. Step number 2, now become really, really curious, that explore power. Push aside any irritation, any judgment that you might be feeling, which can be very hard to do, about this other person's position, and just get curious about the deeper aspiration that might have led this person to take that particular position. Step 3, I want you to identify the underlying aspiration. And remember, an aspiration is something that is positive. It's something that you would wish for that other person. Perhaps this person's aspiration is to create more safety or more security for themselves or maybe for their loved ones. Perhaps it's to gain more independence or more acceptance, to be less afraid, to be more liked. What is their underlying aspiration that you would actually want for this person? And finally, step 4, seek a new position. Ask yourself if there's a new position that you could take that could satisfy the deeper aspirations in both of you, in both parties. For +1, of course, repeat all day, every day. As always, here's to living unstoppably free together with deeper aspirations today.